Let's start with the training today, right? Before I start, there's one request for all the user. I would request everyone to please log in exactly at 10 a.m. Qatar time so that there is no need for us to wait for 10 to 15 minutes to start with the training, right? So because that will delay our training time, and we may have to extend the training if it's not getting completed on time, right? So I would request all the users to please join the training exactly at 10 a.m. Qatar time as per the schedule what has been shared with everyone, right? Okay, so with that, let's start with the today's training session. So as per the agenda, today we will be having a webinar session. So you'll be having two webinars. The first webinar will be on the self-learning that you have done using a pre-recorded training videos. So for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes, we'll be having a webinar on the self-learnings that you have done. After that, we'll have a break. And next, we will start with our second webinar. The second webinar will be on the scenario-based assignments that we have given on the front office and housekeeping module, right? So that's the agenda for the day. So you'll be having two webinars, right? Now, I have my colleague Deepika who will be taking you through the first webinar that's on the self-learnings that has been done through a pre-recorded videos. Okay, so let me just hand over the call to her and she'll take it from here. Deepika?
Thank you so much, Krishna. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
So let's start. Allow me 1 second to share my screen. So before we start with the webinar, there's a small intro PPT that we have prepared, which I want to share with you all just to have a quick introduction about myself. So I hope, Krishna, the screen is visible to everybody.
Yes.
Great. So first of all, for everyone, welcome to Housekeeping webinar that's been happening on 25th of April, 2022. Now, to proceed further with this webinar, there are certain expectations that we have from you, as well as the expectations are from the trainer as well. So first of all, a little bit about Housekeeping, that we are a global market leader in enterprise cloud-based hospitality solution, as you all know. We serve in more than 100 plus countries. We have the product support in multiple currencies and multiple languages. And we are a solution to drive business growth. So apart from that, there are certain webinar objectives, like I said. So to conduct a detailed refresher walkthrough for the learnings which you've done through self-learning videos, as Krishna has already mentioned. Now, to address all your doubts and queries for the modules that we'll be covering, basically this webinar will be for 3 hours. 1 hour, 15 minutes will be for the refresher walkthrough of the modules as mentioned above. 15 minutes will be secured for you to submit all your doubts and queries post the webinar. And remaining 1 hour, 30 minutes will be for your scenario-based assignment. Now, what's in it for you, the audience? So basically, this webinar will help you in having an essential learning of your front desk module, the housekeeping module, as I'll be covering these two. You will be able to submit your questions post webinar, which the training team will definitely answer. Now, to know your trainer, my name is Deepika Sahai, and I will be your trainer for today's webinar. I have an extensive experience in client training and management for more than 100,000 plus enterprise customers worldwide in different companies. I have been associated with Housekeeping solely for more than past 8 years, with an overall industry experience of around 14 years. Certain house rules. So basically, I will be sharing my audio and screen with view-only mode for attendees. Please post your query only in Q&A box afterwards, of course, not between these sessions. You will be on mute as this will block unwanted distractions or inappropriate noises for others. So please do not mind that. To limit the distractions, what you can do, you can just put your phones and every other device on DND mode. Q&A box, Krishna will be opening that after the webinar. So let's get started. And just allow me 1 second now. Now, to proceed further with the webinar, I'm sure that you all must have been aware that, for the very first time, you all have to log in through the Microsoft Authenticator. So this time I am going to show you that how are we using that Authenticator. So allow me to just toggle between my screens because I have attached my phone to the AnyDesk to make it easy for you. Now, just give me 1 quick second. Right, so this is the link that you will be getting to log in into the system as highlighted on my screen. So once you enter this link, you'll come to the login page of HotelLogic's system. What you need to do, you need to enter the further details. So every hotel or every property will be assigned with a unique property code. You need to enter your property code. So I'm just using 13951 here for the reference. Post that, I'll be entering my user ID because my user ID would be my login. So just 1 second. Followed with a password. And then this capture image. Now, after I click on login, my system will send a notification on the Microsoft Authenticator app. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So you can see there's a scan code that is coming in front of me. And now let me just take you to the another screen. Now, this is my phone screen. As you can see that on your Authenticator app, what you need to do, you need to click on this add account. The moment you click on this add account, there will be 3 options for you. What do you need to do? You need to further click on this other account, Google. Now it will ask you to go ahead and quickly scan the code. So the camera is now on. I'll go back to the login page. I'll scan this code. And then right after scanning the code, you will get to see that there's a 6-digit OTP that is coming on my screen. I'll just again toggle. So you can see 891311, which is valid for few seconds. So let me quickly go back to my login page. Click on next, enter the 6-digit code here, 891311, and then simply click on submit. The moment you click on submit, it will take you to your login page. Now, this is the first time login wherein you have to follow all this procedure. Now, let me show you once you log in into the system for the first time, afterwards what happens. So let me just log out from here and I'm redoing the login process because from next time onwards, you don't have to scan any code. There will be just 6-digit password that will be coming directly onto your system on your phone. And then you have to simply type it there. So just give me 1 second. So next time onwards, once you log in, it will not give you any kind of scanning code. It will straight away ask for the 6-digit code. So now let me just show you how it will appear. So next time onwards, it will straight away appear like this, 475356. Now let me go back to my login screen and enter this code here, 475356. And then you click on submit and here you are on the login page. So I hope this process is clear to everyone. Krishna, can you just acknowledge if this is fine?
Yes, Devika. Yeah.
Great. Now just give me 1 second. Let me just go back to the login screen. Just allow me 1 quick second, please. Great. Now to start with the webinar, what we're going to do now, the first page is your login page, as I explained to you earlier. Now this is your welcome page. On this welcome page, there are certain things which I would like to walk you through. The first thing is the quick view section. The quick view section will tell you that what is the current status of your property, as in how many units are there to check in, how many units are there to check out, and how many units are available. Right. Apart from that, it will give you the user person's name here on the screen. Further, it will give you the counter. You simply have to select one counter as there will be only one counter for you. You need to click on reception, the available counter, and click on continue. Guys, just allow me 1 second. Right, I was logging through the support ID, sorry. Okay, so here's the quick view, then it will give you the person who has logged in into the system. I'm particularly logging from the support ID right now. So it is giving you the name of the user. Right now it is showing the support ID. You need to select the reception counter as I mentioned, and then you further click on continue. The moment you click on continue, the system will take you to your front desk page. Now here on this page, the first thing that you must have noticed is the pop-up that is coming on front of this, on front of my screen. Why this pop-up is here? Because I have not performed the night audit for several days and my system is not on the current date. Now, when I say current date, I mean to say my calendar date. So today is 25th of April. However, my last night audit done has been on 26th of November, which is definitely not going to be the case in your scenario because you will be working on the current dates, but just a piece of information that even if you'll be falling back by 1 day's night audit, the system will start triggering this piece of information on your screen. So we just simply click on cancel right now and we proceed further. Now this is your front desk page where you can go ahead and do all the activities. So let's explore this page one by one. So one first thing on the left hand side where you see the Photologics logo, here you will get to see the logo of the particular unit. Not only the logo, if you click on this particular logo, it will give you the property details. It will give you the map location of the property. It will give you the address, the cluster, subcluster information, location, property complex, external property ID, because for every property, there's a unique property ID that has been assigned, property type, district, municipality, metro station proximity, description of the property, amenities which are there in the property. Now, total number of unit type means total number of categories available in this particular property. And then total number of unit means total number of inventory or the rooms, you can say in layman language. So all this information is provided once you click on this logo. Proceeding further, it will give you other information as well. So let me just walk you through one by one. Then it will give you the time zone. On the right hand side extreme, if you just see that there's a date and time section. So this date and time will reflect that what should be your current date as per the time zone, in the area that you are present in. Apart from that, it will give you the navigation calendar. Now, let me just explain you why we have this navigation calendar here in place. On my front desk date chart, we call this place a date chart where you see all my reservations being placed. So on this date chart, there is no arrow sign or any move button for me to move these dates backward or forward. So let's say if I would like to fetch some data of the previous day's reservation, right? I will be using this navigation calendar to reach. So let's say that I am in November 25th right now. For example, I want to see a reservation which was done on first week of November 2021. So what am I supposed to do? I need to go to this navigation calendar, move my dates to the desired date, let's say 11th of November. I click here and my system will get me onto the 11th of November date, as you can see. Now, let's say here, I would want to just simply print the reservation card of this particular reservation. So I click on the reservation, a blue pop-up will come in front of me. This is the basic information pop-up. Without entering into the reservation, you can simply see the basic details of any reservation, okay? Now there's a print reservation card button right in front of you. You need to click here, print the reservation card and close this pop-up. So this is how you can move the dates of the date chart, or probably you can move your date chart to a future or to a back date through this navigation calendar. Once you are done with it and you want to go back to your current date. Now, current date means as per the system, whenever I have done the last night audit in the system, that is my current date, right? So when if I would like to go back to my current date, what am I supposed to do? There's a current button right in front of you. You will simply click on this current button and my system will take you back onto your current date. Whenever a night audit has been done, that particular date will become grayed out like this, as if you can see. 25th and 26th have become grayed out. However, 27th is still in white color. Why? Because I'm working on this date. I have not performed the night audit so far of this date, right? I assume that everybody's clear with this part, and so I'm proceeding further. And then we have this room operations list. Room operations are nothing but just the basic information, or probably a quick view reports for all our front desk team. So they don't have to go into the report section and go through the long reports. So the easiest way for them to have the crisp and basic information about their regular check-in, check-outs is the room operation. Here they can find multiple reports like check-in list, checkout list, pre-check-in, checkout, reservation list, temporary, no-show, so on and so forth. All the the basic reports which the front desk team requires on for their regular operations. Now, out of all these reports, there's one report which is very, very important, which you have to check on daily basis, is your pre-check-in and checkout. Why this report is important? Because whenever somebody would be sending any kind of request for the pre-check-in, that will be landing into this report. And now it's the responsibility of the front desk team. Allow me a second. Okay, so all the questions will be answered by the training team. So we just keep it aside for a moment. So now, okay, so whenever somebody would be sending any request for a pre-check-in, that particular request will land into this report. Now it's the responsibility of my front desk team, which, they have to visit this report on daily basis. So to quickly see whether there's any pending request, what you need to do, you need to click on pre-check-in and then request it and then click on search. By doing this, you'll get to see if there's any pending request. So if you can see that the very first line wherein Mr. Robin Tyagi has requested for a pre-check-in. So now this is after checking his documents through view details on the right hand side, you see this view details. Once you click on this view detail, you will get to see the information that he has filled in, the identification types that he has attached, his signatures and health declaration, everything. After verifying all the details, it is up to you whether you want to approve or whether you want to reject this particular pre-check-in request, right? So we just go ahead and approve this. The guest pre-check-in is successfully approved. So this is your responsibility, as in like the front desk team's responsibility, to go ahead and approve or reject the pre-check-in. Right? Now, to proceed further, now we'll quickly have a look at the management dashboard. So now in the management dashboard, it will give you basic information. So what you need to do, you simply need to enter or select the stay period or the dates that you would like to fetch the data for. Click on refresh. It will give you basic information like ARR, RevPAR, occupancy percentage of the property, house status. So okay, just one thing, commercials are not to be taken care by the property level. So we will not be discussing about the commercials anywhere. However, the occupancy percentage is relevant. House status, you can see that how many total units are there in this property, out of which how many are occupied, how many are expecting arrivals, expected departures, so on and so forth. It will also give you the revenue analysis on the basis of for the date, month till date, and year till date, your business on books for the selected time period, your occupancy analysis on the basis of different room categories, the unit types, top 540 performance, we can ignore for now. Source and market segment analysis, of course, if you are marking that in the reservations, it will definitely pop up the data here for you. Last but not the least, the availability analysis, wherein it will show you then each category or in each unit type, how many rooms are available on each and every respective dates. So this is about the management dashboard. Proceeding further, the next thing we have is the guest lookup. As the name suggests, whenever you would like to search for any guest information in the system, you will be opening this guest search page. Now here, there are multiple ways for you to search the guest, by their name, their telephone number, their email addresses. So for me, let's say I would want to search for somebody with the name of Krishna. I don't have further information. Let's just assume I click on search guest. It will give you all the people's information with the first name as Krishna, who have stayed or maybe have the future reservations in the property. Now, on the basis of the particular information like their email address or the phone number, right, you can click on the particular profile to get into the edit guest info page, from where you can go ahead and make the additions, or you would like to make some any kind of changes in the system. So we just close it off now. Proceeding further, we have the next thing called house status. House status, again, is a quick view of the current status of your property, that how many units are there in the property, out of which how many are on DNR, which is out of order, do not reserve, or out of order. out of service units, house use units, rooms to sell available. Apart from that, it will give you how many departures expected, how many actuals expected, and the housekeeping status as well, like how many dirty units are there, how many are touch up required, just the basic information what you need to understand the current standing of your property. Proceeding further, we have this property layout. Now, the property layout is a very, very important function because here you can see the entire property map. This is very essential and comes really, really handy in case of any emergency, or maybe if you have to evacuate the property in case of any, God forbid, any kind of emergency or any kind of mock drills. This comes really, really handy, the property layout for everyone. Proceeding further, we have the multi-property access here. So let's say that in a group or probably in a cluster, if somebody has an access of 5 properties, so the supervisors or the managers can easily access all those properties from here. They simply need to type the property code, which I don't have right now, I'm sorry. Yeah, look at this. So all my properties are being listed here. So instead of going through the hassle of login in again and again, I can simply jump from one property to another property from here. This may be required for some of you, this may not be required for some of you, so that's the reason we just keep it on a just intro level. Proceeding further, we have this room legend. So all you see, I'm sure that all of you can see the colors on my tape chart, like blue, gray, the sea green, the green. So all these colors have a relevance. So if you simply expand this room legend section, you can see that if a reservation is highlighted into blue color, that's in reserved status. If the reservation is highlighted into green color, that means it's been checked in. The gray ones are checked out. The dark gray ones are DNR, which are like do not reserve, right? House use are the sea green ones, this one, as you can see on my screen. Likewise, we have the housekeeping legends as well. Now, housekeeping legends are these with the colors that are coming on your room, on your unit numbers. So red means dirty, blue means touch up required if some room is being marked as clean. So let me just show you the colors. If the clean, if some room has been marked as clean, it will be in blue color. Inspected rooms will be in green color. Now there are certain points that I wanted to share with you all before we proceed further. So because next is what we're going to cover about the tape chart and the reservations here on my system. So there are certain things that I'm sure that all of you are aware of because you've been going through the self-learning modules, but just to highlight them. On the property levels, you'll not be allowed to create any reservations because all the reservations are being created and pushed into your PMS by the AA, the accommodation agency. You need to perform the check-in, check-outs, no-show, etc. at your level. However, you'll not be able to cancel any of the reservations. For any kind of cancellations, you need to get in touch with the accommodation agency. Apart from that, you will be able to reinstate the no-show. If you have marked a booking as no-show, definitely you can reinstate the no-show before the night audit until the booking is not being checked out, right? So let's quickly go into the tape chart module. Now this, like I mentioned, this is what we call the tape chart. Here, my system is showing the data for the period of 25th of November till December 25th. There's a search button. If ever you would want to search for any booking, you can search the booking from here. Now, the search booking criteria will be on different bases, like the booking number, the AAID, the fan ID, the guest name or anything. You can easily search for any of the bookings from here. Current button, I have already explained to you. If you are moving the dates using the navigation calendar, either to the future dates or maybe to the backward dates, and you would want to come back to your current date, you will simply need to click on this current button. Now, there are certain views as well that you can set your entire PMS. So let's say I don't want to see the 30 days reservations in one go. I can set it for 1 day, wherein my system will only show me 1 day's reservation. I can set it for 3 days, wherein my system can only show me for 3 days reservation. Week will show you 7 days reservation, 15 days. However, the most recommended and most convenient for the view for me is the month, wherein I can see the maximum number of reservations for the next 30 days at one glance. Proceeding further, if you would want to see the overall, overall availability of your property, there's a graph sign here on the left hand side. So the moment you simply close this graph sign, it will concise my entire date chart. And you can see that in my 1 bedroom apartments, now this, the 10 number, I'm taking the example of 27th. Let's take the example of 27th. 6 units are available. However, 9 of them are booked. So in total, I have 15 rooms available, 15 units available in this particular unit type, out of which 6 are available and 9 are booked. So and so forth. You'll get this quick snapshot of each and every date on the basis of how many bookings are there already in the system and how many units are still available. You can expand this view by again clicking on this graph sign, and this will be expanded. Now let's talk about the unit type. So now in this property, like I said, that I have 4 unit types: 1 bedroom apartment, 2 bedroom apartment, 3 bedroom apartment, and 5 bedroom apartment. If I click on this unit type name, it will give you the basic details of the unit, including the picture of the unit. I hope all of you can see this pop up, right? Krishna, is the pop-up visible for the unit type?
Yes, Deepika.
Great. So you can see the picture of the particular unit type. It will give you the location of the unit type, the metro proximity, the configuration of the unit type, that what is the configuration? It says 1 bedroom unit, and how many number of bathrooms will be there in the unit type. Apart from that, it will give you further information like what is the category, building type, number of baby cots allowed in this particular unit type, long and large description, amenities that are being, and how many total units are there in this particular type. So all this information is comes really handy in your system. Now let me just expand it. So this was the unit type. Now let's talk about the unit. On each unit number, if you click, you will get to see that particular unit's information. This was the unit type, and now I'm taking you through the unit information. So here it will give you the unit name as in, the unit type, floor this particular unit is located at, block, how many number of beds will be there, what is the description. So in the description, it will give you the room ID. So please understand, in every unit, there might be a possibility for a suite in a particular unit. I may have 2 bedroom attached. So accordingly, I'll get that data here. So I'll show you amenities, unit features. Now the thing that I was talking about. So let's go to 2 bedroom apartment. If I click on this 201 unit, you can see that there are 2 room IDs in this particular unit, room ID U201 and room ID U201A/B. That means in this particular unit, I have 2 bedroom attached. And that is the description of my different bedrooms here in this unit. Likewise, if I move to 3 bedroom apartment and I click on this unit, there are 3 rooms in this particular unit: room ID 1, room ID 2, and room ID 3. Okay, so I hope this is clear to everyone, and let me just proceed further. Right, so now since this is clear, now let me just show you how the DNR and the house use rooms looks like. So when I talk about the DNR, which is do not reserve or maybe the out of order rooms, the DNR will be reflecting on your systems like this DNR. Let's say if some user would want to see that why this DNR is being placed on, on the system. So there are 2 ways. Either you can click on it, you'll get to see that from which to which date the DNR has been placed, and the reason is mentioned in the comment section. Second, if you even mouse over on the DNR, it will give you a small pop-up right in front of you, which will show you that, because of which reason the unit has been kept on DNR. So let me just show you this one as well, AC repair as well. Now, house use, the same way. If you go to house use and if you simply mouse over, you'll get to see that this room is being blocked under house use for SC delegate. So whatever the reason is, you can simply, just have a look at the reason of the blocks on the rooms like this. Wherever there's a reservation, definitely you'll not get to see the reasons, but then you'll get to see the client's name who is going to be arrive, who will be going to arrive in the hotel or the property for that matter. So now let's understand the reservations part. So like I mentioned, all reservations will be updated by accommodation agency only. All you can see, you can do the mark, you can mark the bookings as check-in, check-out, right? So you can see that on my system, there are certain reservations that are being created from the super admin, as in like the accommodation agency's user ID. So I will not be able to make any changes to the reservation. All I can do is to do the check-in, check-out and the other functions. So let's just explore that one by one. So first of all, I'll show you the single check-in. Whenever there's a two type of check-in. One is single check-in, wherein there's only one room for you to check in. Second is the group check-in, wherein there are multiple rooms for you to check in. So let's first understand the single check-in. There are two ways that you can check in for a single room. I'll show you both. One, if you go to the particular reservation, give a right click, there's a check-in button enabled for you. Now, before I proceed further, let me just walk you through one more thing. The reason I said that, the night audit should be on current date, why it is imperative, because let's say that, we are on 6th of December, and I have not done the night audit for all these dates, right? So when I go to check in this booking, the check-in will not be enabled until unless I'll not do the night audit till the current date of the system, which is 5th. Okay. So let's go back to the current date. Check-in of a single reservation. One way, I give a right click. There's a check-in button enabled for me. I click on this check-in button. The system, okay, one more thing. Do you see this notification? The unit selected for check-in is not inspected. Very great. So if your unit will not be in the inspected mode, you'll not be able to mark the booking as check-in. So you can see that this booking is marked as dirty. So what I need to do, I need to first mark this booking as clean, right? And then further we'll be marking it as inspected. Okay. So let me just quickly go ahead and mark all my bookings as inspected so that there would be no delays in the check-in. Just allow me one quick second. You will not be doing it straight away, everyone, because of course you need to first mark it as clean, and further the dedicated department will be marking the rooms as inspected. So your front desk team will be able to mark the bookings as check-in, check-out and everything. Krishna, am I right, or is there something to add?
No, Deepika, it's correct.
Thank you. Now, to proceed further, now I have already marked all my bookings as inspected, so there will be no hassles in the check-in. So we go to this booking, give a right click, the check-in is enabled. I click on this check-in button. The check-in card will be generated. I hope you all can see the check-in card. Krishna, is the check-in card visible?
No.
No.
Okay, give me 1 second. Now here's the check card that will be coming for your properties. You need to print this check-in card and then you can proceed further. Now allow me to go back to the main screen. This is how you can do the single check-in. This was the easiest way. Another way of checking in the guest is you give a right click, you go to view details page, click on enable editing, move down at the bottom, and then you have a group check-in here. Why group check-in? Because all the bookings are coming via accommodation agency. So we'll be covering, we'll be considering all the booking as group bookings, right? So we can click on group check-in, select yes. The check-in card will be generated and then this booking will be checked in too. This was the single booking. Just to reiterate, the first way, give a right click, straight away check in from here. Second way, go to the view details like this. Click on enable editing, move down at the bottom, and then from here you can mark the booking as check-in. There are the two ways. Now let's talk about the group check-in. So group check-in again we can do in two ways. If all my rooms, room occupants are coming together. So look at this booking, 837, 838, and 839. If all my room occupants are coming together, then in that case, I give a right click and straight away go to group check-in. You can see this group check-in. The moment I click on group check-in, all three rooms will be checked in together, right? I don't have to do it one by one. However, there might be a case wherein all my occupants are coming one by one, not together. So let's say in this particular reservation, 840 and 841, only this room occupant has come, 840. So what I'm going to do, I give a right click, first check in this room. Then another room is still pending for check-in because the occupant has not arrived yet. And later, once they arrive, I give a right click and again click on check-in. So in group reservations, wherein there are multiple rooms booked in under one reservation, you have the feasibility of either marking them as group check-in if they are coming together, and even one by one. Now, to proceed further, now let's talk about the individual guest check-in. There might be a possibility that in a particular room, I have two guests, and one of them only has arrived right now, and the second person has not arrived in a single room booking I'm talking about. So let's quickly have a look at that. So for that, I will take this booking, 8:45, Krishna's booking. So let's say in this booking, I have two occupants. So if you click on this booking, you can see that there are two adults in this booking. Now, this also brings me to one very good thing. So if you click on any of the reservations like this only, you will get to see the basic information of that booking, the reservation ID, the group ID, the guest name, the travel agent name, if it is coming from any travel agent, unit type, unit number, group owner, details like guest details, stay details, that how many, what is the check-in date, what is the checkout date, how many adults are there in the room, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's say that one of the occupant has come, however, the another one has not come so far. So how do we do single person check-in in a one room? So we give a right click. Allow me 1 second. We give a right click. We go to view details. Now here, I click on enable editing, move down at the bottom. Now here, I need to enter into this room. Why? Because there are two people in this room, right? So I need to enter into the room like this. Now here are two of my occupants. So let's say only Krishna has arrived, but Robin has not arrived. So I select Krishna's name. I click on guest check-in. The system will give you a prompt. Do you wish to check in the reservation? You say, okay. The check-in card will be generated. And if you see that one of your guests has been checked in, however, other person has not checked in, you can go back to the group. Anything that you do on the view details page, it is mandatory for you to save it. Otherwise, all your changes will be null and void. So we simply save it and we come out of the reservation. Now this reservation has been marked as check-in. However, one person has not checked in yet. Now let's assume after 2 or 3 hours, the second person also has arrived, and I would mark that person as checked in. Again, the same process. I repeat the process for you. We give a right click. We go to view details. Click on enable editing. Move down at the bottom. Get into the room. And then we select another person who was left for check-in and then click on guest check-in. System will give you a prompt here. Click on OK. And now both of my guests have been checked in successfully here. I go back to group. Again, like I mentioned, we have to save it. And then here you the room move. Room move is a very, very simple functionality which you can do at any point in time. So let's say this particular reservation, Zahir Khan, I would like to move this reservation to a different room. So what I'm going to do, I give a right click. I have a move button enabled for me. I click on move and drag it to the desired room. And I simply drop it. The moment you drop this particular reservation to the desired unit, system will ask you to select a reason that why are you moving this particular unit or the reservation. So you say that for balcony view, any reason that you've been created, select it, click on yes, and the room will be assigned. Now, there's a point here for all of you to understand. Whenever you assign any room, any reservation to any particular room, right after the name or after the name of the client, or maybe after the name of your particular travel agent, you get this A sign in the bracket. That means that's the denoter of assigned. Okay, so this is how you get to see. Also, now, if you want to unassign the room, you have an option of unassign as well. If you unassign, the room will be moved to the best possible location. You can even move the room from one category to another category as well. So if I give a right click again, show you move, and I drag it down to another category, like from 2 bedroom to 3-bedroom category, it will allow you, but it will ask you whether it's an upgrade. You select yes, it's an upgrade, and reason, select it, click on yes. And now this room has been moved from 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom category. I hope this is clear. Now, the next option I want to walk you through is the swap reservation. Let's assume that, I, by mistake, have checked in Brijesh in 102A and I have checked in Robin into 103A. It should be vice versa, right? So what I'm going to do, I give a right click, I go to move special, I select the unit type. I want to swap in the same unit type, so I select 1-bedroom. I want to move Brajesh's reservation to 103. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 quick second, please. Krishna?
Yeah, Deepika?
I guess there's some access possibility here that, I'm not able to swap the reservation here.
We're going to select move special. Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we simply click on move, we drag the unit to the required room, and then we simply click on the swap option. This is how we'll be swapping the unit. So earlier, this British, this 835 reservation was in 102 and 836 was in 103. So I have just swapped the units. So just to show you once again, we give a right click, we go to move, we drag it to this room, and then simply drop the cursor. Once we drop the cursor, it will ask you that whether you want to swap the units. You select swap, select the reason that, incorrect assignment of rooms, and then simply click on yes. Okay, the reservations on, look at this. So if the reservations are not being marked as inspected, it will be very difficult. So again, I'll redo the process, give a right click, move, drag it to this room 103, select swap unit, select reason incorrect assignment of the rooms, and then click on yes. The rooms will be swapped again. Swapping can only happen if the rooms are being checked in. Now, to proceed further with this, now let me show you the no-show option. Like I said, you'll not be able to cancel, extend, or edit any of the bookings. However, you will be able to mark the booking as no-show, and you can even go ahead and reinstate the booking. So to mark a booking as no-show, let me just walk you through. Give me 1 second. Which reservation should I take? 313. Okay, let me take this reservation here for you. So to mark a booking as no-show, we need to go to view details. First, any action related to any of the bookings can be only possible if you are on view details page. And now there are 2 ways that I'm going to show you to reach to the view details. One, give a right click, go to view details. This is one way. Second is you go to the reservation, give a left click on the booking. It will open up a small pop-up in front of you through which you can print your reservation card. You can send the email to your guest. And then there's a view detail here. So you click on view, you come to the view details page. Now, till the time you'll not click on this enable editing button, the entire page is blocked for you. You'll not be able to make any changes in the reservation. So I click on enable editing. The moment you click on enable editing, entire page will become editable for you. You move down at the bottom. Now here I am showing you the no-show. So at the bottom, you have this group no-show option available. You click on this group no-show option, select the reason. Let's say there's some changes in the travel plan. You don't have to enter any commercials because that's not required. Enter the reason and then simply click on mark no-show. Once you do this, you simply have to close the booking and the booking will be vanished from here. Okay. This is how you place a booking as no show. Now let's assume that right after I have marked a booking as no show because I was not getting any intimation from the client. Let's say right after 30-40 minutes, I received a call from the client and they would like to now reinstate the booking. So now let me show you how do we reinstate the booking. To reinstate the booking, what of course, we need to know the check-in date of the booking, which is 27th in my case. We go to canceled reservation list. On the under room operations, you have this canceled reservation. You click on cancel reservation list. I'll select the 27th date, which is 27 November. This was the booking that I marked as no show, Chandra Shukla's booking. Right in front of this booking, you have a reinstate button. The moment you click on this reinstate button, system will give you prompt that do you wish to reinstate the reservation? You click on OK, and now the reservation has been reinstated. Now, after it's been reinstated, you can assign this reservation to the desired room. And further, you can go ahead and mark this booking as check-in. Okay. I'm not marking this booking as check-in because there's one reason that I want to show you. So let's just keep this booking aside. So I guess, yeah. And then we simply go ahead and mark this booking as check-in too. So all my bookings have been marked as checked in, including this. This is a group booking. I'm going to mark this as a group check-in to save on the time. This is how you'll be marking all your bookings as checked in. Now, let's understand there are certain functionalities that I wanted you guys to walk you through was the view details, what all you can do in view details page. So let's explore. So for that, I'm going to use this booking, the 823, 824 and 825 booking, right? First thing, like I mentioned, all the reservations are being created by the accommodation agency. So for you, it would be always a group booking. What you need to do, give a right click, go to view details, click on enable editing. Now let's understand what all we can do on this particular page. So here you will get to see whether it's a travel agent booking, whether it's a corporate booking, the AA, your accommodation reference ID, your group ID, what is the status of this booking, which is reserved, of course. There you will get to see the organization or the group owner information. You'll not be able to change it because all these things are being handled at the accommodation agency's level. Okay, then you move down further. If you have any preferences to capture in the system for, let's say that I'm moving out of my shift and then somebody else would be coming in, I want to leave a special note or anything in relation to this booking only, I can enter that in preferences column. On the right hand side, you get to see the stay details like the check-in, check-out. Of course, you'll not be able to make any changes in the stay detail of the guest. In case if there's any request from the guest to extend or decrease the stay duration, you are supposed to get in touch with the accommodation agency for that. You can go ahead and mark the bookings as source, type, market segment. Yes. Why? Because it will give you a brief information in the management dashboard like I showed you earlier. Arrival and departure information, yes, you can capture it for your reference at what time the person will be arriving, whether they are arriving by air, by cruise, or by by land. Likewise, you can enter the departure information, their flight number, or maybe the cruise number, what time they'll be arriving, just for your reference. Pay terms and rates and packages has nothing to do with at the unit level, because everything is being done by the accommodation agency, so we'll not be touching this part. Proceeding further, we have the details of the number of units in this particular reservation. Now, please make sure that whenever you are checking in any of the group reservation, all the guest details have to be filled in here. Why? Because during the checkout, if you have not filled in the guest details during the checkout, the system will definitely ask you to go back and enter the guest details. So it's better if we do it in the initial stage. So if your guests are coming one by one, then you can simply click here and then enter the information. Now this, if you can see, is only for the primary guest in this particular room. So if I have 2 guests in this room, right, I have to get into the reservation and then I have to enter the guest details here by clicking on these pencil icons, which I'll just show you. But for now, let me just walk you through. In case if you would like to enter all the guest details together, there's an easy way. Select all the rooms together from the left hand side, and then there's a guest list. You click on this guest list. Now here it will give you the option to enter all your guest details here. So let's say that I want to go ahead and quickly enter the guest details. Now I'll just take a few minutes for this. It is mandatory to select the phone number and the country code. If the guest has been stayed earlier with you, you will even get the information like this as you're getting on my system. So I'm just to save on time, I'll quickly go ahead and select in from the existing guest. And then we simply click on save. This is how you can even capture all your guest details in one go. However, if guests are coming one by one, you can enter into a particular room and then further enter the information. Now, let me just quickly walk you through what all information we capture in a guest detail. So look at this. I entered in one of the rooms wherein 2 guests are there. Now, one of the person is Mr. Robin Tyagi. So I would like to edit his detail, or if I would like to complete his profile, right in front of his name, there's a pencil icon. I'll simply click on this pencil icon, which will take me to the guest information page. Here, there will be a guest ID, the fan ID, everything will be listed here. You can enter and upload, you can select the IDs that you're uploading against, for this particular guest. Once the ID is uploaded in the system, it will remain forever in the system unless you definitely till the time you have the access. And proceeding further, you can enter the other information like their home address, their work details, if they have any guest preferences. Here you have the health declaration as well. So you can go ahead and check the health declaration that's been filled up by the guest during their pre-check-in formalities. So you have each and every information here, very, very handy for you. And then you can move down at the bottom. And then you can go ahead and see other things. So here's the send confirmation email. If you would like to send the confirmation email of this particular room, you can simply check this box and the confirmation will be sent automatically to the guest. Preferences, like I mentioned, in the group view as well, you have the preferences column. Now, there are certain more things that you can do. So you have 2 different things, messages and task. Right? So now let me explain you the relevance of both the things. Task, first thing, is whenever you would like to assign a task for any of the department, or if you would like to request for something. So what you need to do, you need to click on this task. Let's say I want to assign a task to my housekeeping. I select housekeeping. Service type, my guest needs an extra comforter. I select comforter, and then please provide an extra comforter in the room, and then click on OK. The moment you click on OK, the task will be sent to your housekeeping department that will be covering in the housekeeping section in some time. And once they are, right now it is showing as pending, but once they complete the task and they'll change the status from pending to delivered, the same option and the same notification will come for you here in the reservation as well. Another thing is messages. Now, messages will only be possible if the guest is already been checked in into the hotel. So this I'll show you in another booking. So give me just one quick second. So let's say, for example, this particular reservation I take, Robin Tyagi's reservation, this person has moved out of his room because of some work, and in his absence, I received a call for him and I would like to capture the message. So what I'm going to do, I give a right click, go to view details, enable editing as a mandatory step, move down. I need to get into this room to capture the message. So I click on the particular unit, I get into the unit, there's a message. So I click on message. If there are multiple occupants and the message is common for the unit occupants, then you can select unit. If the message is specifically for one person, You can select their name and then let's say, please call your family assets urgent, anything, anything that you would like to capture as a message. Click on OK and then close it off, back to group. And like I said, save it. The moment you save it, you see that there's a message icon that starts flashing right in front of this particular unit. So it means whenever this person would be walking back into the alley or maybe the lobby area, and let's say that they have gone back to their room, and I can see that there's a message icon which is still flashing, it means there is some message which has not been delivered so far. So I click on this message, I call this person on their intercom, and I just pass on the message. Once I do that, I need to change this to delivered. It is a mandatory step. So you click on delivered, click on save. The message has been delivered to this person. However, the record of that message will remain forever in this booking. So if I just take you back to the booking, you can see the message. There was a message that has been delivered to the client. Okay. So this will remain in the system forever, even after the message has been delivered. So this is about your messages functionality. So now reinstate, I have already showed you, like I said, that you can only reinstate the reservation, but after the night audit, guest needs to contact the accommodation agency. In case of cancellation or any kind of modifications, you need to get in touch with the accommodation agency only. Right, and just give me one quick second. Now let's quickly proceed further and do the night audit. And after that, I'll show you how do we perform the checkouts. Now, to perform the night audit, there's a very simple way. What we need to do, we need to go to this front desk tab on the left-hand side. The last option available is the perform night audit option. In the entire system, there is no other place from where you can perform the night audit. This is the only alternative. So you click on this perform night audit. Make sure that none of the users have been logged in into the system. As you can see that here, Krishna has logged in. Krishna, I request you to please log out from the system.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay, and for everyone, why I'm asking him to log out from the system, because if I click on this forcefully log out users, it will log him out, but it will start the timer of 4 minutes. So just to save on the time, I am requesting him to log out from the system. So we just...
Yes, it's done. Deepika?
Yeah, Krishna.
It's done.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I just saw the messages that for a few of you, it's going fast. I'll try to slow a bit. Apologies for that. So now to proceed further with the night audit. If you remember, I mentioned that I am not checking in this booking for a specific reason. And the reason is, if there's any pending check-in or check-out in the system will not let you perform the night audit, is what I'm going to show you right now. So there's a booking that's been due for check-in, which has not been marked as no-show. I have not checked in this booking either. And let's say I start the night audit. So once I click on perform night audit, my system will give me the notification here that there's a booking that needs to be checked in. Now from here as well, either you can mark this booking as no-show or you can mark this booking as check-in. But I want to abandon and return to front desk and do the perform the check-in properly. So what I'm going to do, I go to the reservation, give a right click. Now I have checked in the booking, not inspected. 1 second. Now all my reservations are completely checked in. There's no pending checkout, no pending check-in, and now I can proceed further. Before that, just allow me 1 second. Okay, now we click on front desk. The last option, like I said, is the perform night audit. In the entire system, there is no other place. So we click on this perform night audit. Now there is no pending check-in, no pending checkouts, no checks. However, at the third section, which says counters, you are not supposed to close and withdraw the counter. You're simply supposed to ignore it. Simply click on ignore all and continue with the night audit. It will take few seconds for for the system to perform the night audit. For that, I will just wait. Here, the night audit has been done. The entire night audit summary report will come in front of you. As you can see, you move down at the bottom and then you click on continue to work. Must be wondering that why I have this continue to next night audit button is because this is a training system and we are running already on the back date. So that's the reason. However, in your case, you'll only get to see one, which is continue to work, because you'll be working on the current date. So we click on continue to work here. Now, again, we are back to the date chart. We ignore this warning message. And here we are. Now I'm going to show you the checkouts of the reservation, right? After that, we'll be moving to the housekeeping department. Now, to perform the checkouts, I'll show you group checkouts, I'll show you single checkouts, and I'll show you the early checkout of one particular guest as well. So what we're going to do, for single checkout, I use this booking, which is 836, which is ending on 28th. Whenever a booking is ending, you will get to see the checkout button. However, if this booking is not ending today, in that case, checkout will not be enabled any which way. So there's no scope of mistake in the system. We go to this booking, give a right click, the checkout is enabled. It means this booking is ending today. Click on checkout. It will take me to the final page. I don't have to do anything here, right? I don't have to take the payment, nothing at all, because as I mentioned, that commercials are not involved at your level. So what will you do? You move down at the bottom and there's an express checkout button. Always use express checkout. Simply click on express checkout like this. System will give you the notification, just ignore it. And the checkout is being done. The checkout card will be generated. Let me just show you the checkout card here. Now, this is your checkout card that has been generated, which you further give and print print and give it to your client. Close it off. Allow me 1 second. And then the checkout has been completed. You go ahead and move out. And now if you see that the moment I've performed the checkout, this particular reservation has been turned from green to gray. This means the checkout has been done successfully, right? Now I'll show you the group checkout. So for group checkout, I'll pick up this booking. For group checkout, again, I give a right click. I have an option of group checkout here. Click on group checkout. Again, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to deal with any commercials. Move down at the bottom. Straight away, click on express checkout. The checkout card will be generated again. I am not going to share the screen again because I've already showed you. Move down at the bottom and close it. And now this booking also has been marked as checkout. Okay. Now I'll show you one early checkout. Let's talk about the early checkout as well. So in this reservation, wherein I have 2 adults, let's say one of the person would like to check out today itself. So what I'm going to do, though this reservation is, this reservation is for quite many days, but then let's say one of the person has been moved out or is moving out due to some emergency. So what we're going to do, we give a right click. Checkout is not enabled because the booking is not ending today. We are doing an early checkout. So what we're going to do, we go to view details, enable editing, move down at the bottom. Now we need to enter in this room to perform the early checkout. We go here. There's a check-in sign in front of both the guests, right? So I select, let's say Mr. Robin Tyagi is moving out. So I select his name. There's an early checkout button at the bottom. Click on early checkout. You can mention the reason, description, whatever you want to write. Click on early checkout. Now here you are. You have an option of guest checkout here. because not the entire booking is getting checked out. So you click on this guest checkout. It will ask you to generate the folio. Now here, I only select Robin Tyagi's name and click on guest checkout. Guest checked out successfully. I move down and simply close this reservation, right? So this is how you will be performing the early checkout of the guest. Now, I guess that'd be all related to the checkouts and the check-ins. Now, let me just quickly move to the housekeeping department. Krishna, shall we move to the housekeeping now?
Yes, Deepika.
Great, thanks so much. Now for everyone,
Deepika, just one thing.
Yeah.
Can you show room move using move special option also? Because most of these users do not have access to move. Please use move special. Try to move it.
Robin, I guess I'm not getting that option activated on my ID, if I'm not wrong, because move special is not coming.
Okay, I'll check that one. Meanwhile, just keep it as a pending part. I'll check
Sure.
it.
I'll do that because on my system it is not coming. So sorry for that.
No problem.
Maybe because of the access rights.
Yeah, we can give a break for 5 minutes, and after that we can join back.
Certainly. So everyone, let's quickly take a break for 5 minutes, and then we'll be joining back so that you can just relax a bit.
I think 2 o'clock we are breaking for. We're giving a break for prayer, right?
Oh yeah, correct. So let me walk them through the housekeeping module then in that case.
So let's complete the training for next 15 minutes, and then 2 o'clock anyhow we're taking a 20 minutes break.
Not a problem, for sure. So now guys, next we'll be moving to the housekeeping module. Now to go to the housekeeping module, if you click on the others, so everybody who has the access of front desk will get this access of housekeeping as well. So under the others module, there's a housekeeping section. The moment you click on this housekeeping section, it will take you to the housekeeping module. Now this is your housekeeping module. Again, let me just walk you through on the logo side. If you click, so here on the logo, you'll not get to see anything because the main information of the logo is already present on the front desk. Now in this housekeeping module, you'll get to see the today's check-in list, that how many people will be checking in today, if you have any. In my case, I don't have any, unfortunately. Today's checkout, if there's any checkouts that needs to be done, as you can see, yes, they are, right? You will get to see this list. You can even print it out and hand it over to the people who are supposed to go ahead and inspect and clean the rooms. Further, it will give you the information of how many available rooms are there in the system, how many reserved, how many occupied, blocked, overbooking, and checked out. Proceeding further, it will give you the housekeeping legends, as in housekeeping details, like how many dirty rooms are there in the total inventory, how many are touch-up required, how many are inspected, how many are out of service, and how many are clean. Exactly the same as I showed you on front desk, we have the color codings here as well, room legend status and the housekeeping legend status. Now, remember when I was assigning a task for the comforter, so whenever you assign a task, all the tasks will be coming in the list here for your housekeeping team. Maybe I am not on the current date, that's the reason. However, the same will be notified through this bell icon as well. So if you open this bell icon, you can see that all the tasks that has been assigned are being collectively available here. You can click on the task, perform the action, and then you can change the status to done, cancel, whatsoever. Okay, so you have all that information here. So whenever any task is being assigned from any of the departments, it will come here and you can easily access it through this bell icon. Okay, now apart from that, you can, as in like I from the front desk team, also can add a task on behalf of my guest. Let's say that my guest is not able to assign a task through their guest service module because of some internet connectivity in their phone or anything, and they call me on the reception and they want me to generate a task on their behalf. You can do that. How? There's an add task button here. If you click on this add task button, it will open up a small pop-up in front of you wherein you can either choose whether it's an internal task. Internal means from a department to another department. Guest on the behalf of guest if you are raising it. So you can select the unit number or unit type. Let's say I'm selecting the unit number straight away. Job type is, let's say, housekeeping. They need a laundry bag in the room. So I select laundry bag, assign staff. If you have a staff dedicated, you can assign it. In progress, and then you can enter the task. Kindly provide a laundry bag in the room. And then you can even raise an incident if you want to. And then you can click on OK. This is how you can raise a task on behalf of your client as well, if they are not able to do it. Now let's quickly understand the housekeeping module. So in this housekeeping module, you have the information like the unit number, unit type. Let me just, okay. Unit number 101A, unit type is 1-bedroom apartment. Status, this particular unit is on DNR. Configuration, if I can see that if I have any configurations here, no, I'm sorry, the configurations are not mentioned in this particular section, but configuration will give you the details about what is the size of bed that's been placed into this unit, what is the size of the unit, basic configuration details. Availability, whether this particular unit is occupied, is on DNR, or you can see that is available. So the availability will show you that. Remark, if you are assigning any kind of service for any of your housekeeping executives, you can always mark a remark. The services requested by this particular unit will be reflecting like this, as you can see, as in when you will be keeping the, you will be completing the task, these services will keep on be, they will be removed automatically from here once the task is being done. Discrepancy, if you have any discrepancy in terms of number of guests staying in a particular unit, you can always report that. And name when I assign a particular unit. So let's say I want to filter out all my available rooms. So let me just filter it out. These are my available rooms. I want to assign all my available rooms for cleaning to, let's say, Deepika. I select Deepika's name and click on assign units. On the right hand side, in the available units, you'll get to see that Deepika's name will start reflecting. I'll just show you. Look at this. Deepika, right? So you can further go ahead, go at the bottom and print this sheet, right? So this will work as your worksheet for your housekeeping executives, that they know that this unit is need to be clean. This is the unit name number. This is the unit type, status, occupancy, or the availability of the unit. If you have any special note, so you can always enter it. Let's say, please check the door knob or lock, anything, save it. So they know that what is the area that they need to focus on. Okay, so you can enter the information like that, and then you can print this sheet and hand it over to your cleaning person. Next thing, another important thing, discrepancy. So let's talk about this discrepancy section, and then we'll be done with today's webinar. So let's say that if somebody, for that, I'll just take occupied section. Okay, now let's say in one of the rooms, I found that there are more people staying than it should be in that room, right? So I want to report a discrepancy to my supervisors. How am I supposed to do that? There's a discrepancy addition sign. I click on add discrepancy. It will open up a small pop-up in front of me, which will have the basic information like unit name, unit type, unit status, whether it's dirty, clean, whatsoever. Occupied. Now housekeeping says, yes, it is occupied. Front office says there's only one person. Housekeeping says there are 3 people staying in here. And then you can report a discrepancy and then click on add. Your supervisors will have access to the discrepancy report. They can fetch it out anytime as per their convenience, and then they will definitely take the necessary actions or any kind of information that needs to be collected. They'll do it at their level. Right now, next I'm going to show you how are we going to mark the units, from clean to dirty to whatsoever. So we select all the units. Let's say that my housekeeping team has cleaned all the rooms. Let's me just put it down here. Okay, so my housekeeping team, this is my current status, as you can see on the front desk, right? My housekeeping team has cleaned all the rooms. So what I'm going to do, I select all the rooms. I go to the set housekeeping status, select clean and click on go. The moment you do that, all your reservations, all your rooms will be turned into clean status. I'll just show you. You need to refresh the screen, of course, as you can see here. All the rooms are being marked as clean. Like I mentioned earlier, you'll not be able to mark the booking as check-in if the room is not being inspected. So the supervisor's duty is to mark all of them as inspected. So what they'll do, they select all after inspection, of course, they'll mark all the rooms as inspected like this. And if I just take you back onto my front desk, all my rooms are being marked as inspected here. Now I'm ready to do the check-ins, checkouts and everything, right? I'll also show you how do we mark the DNR. You can easily mark a DNR through two ways. One is through the front desk and second through the housekeeping. So I'll show you the front desk way as well. Let's say I want to mark DNR on 104. Select the room, give a right click, go to DNR. It will open up a small pop-up for you here. You need to select from which date to which date you would like to mark the booking as DNR. So let's say from 29th, 28th till 30th, I want to mark it as DNR. Under maintenance, click on submit, and here you are on the DNR section. So now this is how you will be marking the unit as DNR. From the housekeeping, again, it's very simple. Let's say I select one of the room, which is 105. Go here, click on DNR, click on go. The same process. Simply select the dates and simply mention the comments and submit. The unit will be marked as DNR. Likewise, you will be able to mark the booking as house use. Again, I'll show you. Select it, give a right click, house use. You need to again select the date and mention the comments that why are you blocking this room under house use. So this is a very simple process of marking the bookings as DNR and in house use. So this is all about your front desk and the housekeeping section.